New from Vinegar Syndrome and released in 1995 is Last Gasp, starring Robert Patrick as a kind of developer who travels around the world building up hotels and various things like that. He's down in Mexico doing one. There seems to be a tribe of natives who are causing him problems, and he decides, after maybe thinking about it for 30 seconds or so, that the only thing to do is to go out, hunt this tribe down and kill them off. There's this rumour that these people believe in reincarnation, and with their last breath their soul escapes and becomes born again anew. And Robert Patrick kills them all except one, and when he's chilling out one night, that last one comes calling, and in a struggle he manages to kill it. But of course the last gasp seems to infect Patrick's character. After that we kind of jump back into the States, and we have a few different stories going on. We have Joanne Pakula as Nora, a woman who's looking for her husband who's kind of vanished. This story comes in out of nowhere. We get a private investigator who she hires to try and find out, and I kind of like this character because he feels the kind of character Michael Moriarty would have played, and maybe played it better, but the actor's good in the role, and he feels a little bit sleazy but ultimately seems to be a private eye with a little bit of a conscience and helps out Nora looking for her husband. We have Robert Patrick as Leslie, who is now clean shaven, who looks a little bit more slicker than he did at the start, who feels a little bit more dangerous than he did at the start. And there is, of course, bodies turning up. Quite quickly we're shown that Patrick has been infected with the spirit of the last Indian that he killed, and now he takes on that persona at night and kills people as he is driven to do it by the spirits of their ancestors. It's one of those rare kind of 90s oddities that doesn't really come together. It's got some nice blood and effects moment because one of the calling cards of this tribe was to slash the ankle tendons so that they couldn't run away, their victims, and that way they could take their time in killing them brutally, and that happens many times in the film. We've got a couple of characters that really do shine but don't hang around long enough for me to really enjoy them. Like the private investigator, I was hoping was going to become a big part of the movie because he was so enjoyable. I kind of liked his tale and how it played out. Nora was really quite interesting. I liked her kind of arc and how she's suspectful of Leslie, how she worries what's happened to her husband, but the husband story feels superfluous, doesn't really feel to add anything. And it's one of those kind of late 90s slasher movies that's kind of fun but ultimately empty within its storytelling. I liked Patrick. I think he's really good in the role. I think he's a great actor generally anyway. I think when he is inhabited by the kind of Indian tribe spirit, it takes on a whole new performance. He's very physical, he's very cat-like as he moves about, and there is wonderful scenes of stalking and killing throughout this movie. There is a couple of sex scenes in this, and they're the most ridiculously unrealistic sex scenes I've ever seen in my life. Overly lit, overly just strange. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. They're really just weird, and I can't imagine anybody having sex like that. The way it's just, just looks ridiculous, to be honest. and that's it. So The Last Gasp was a kind of fun movie. It's got some really nice stalk and kill sequences, which are well shot, well lit, good camera movement. It really builds the tension and the suspense during these sequences. It's got lots of downtime and plenty of characters that you can follow. Some of them aren't as interesting as others, and you can kind of tell where the movie's going. There's not a lot of surprises to be had here. You kind of know where it's all going to lay out, and even the finale of the movie, you can kind of see that coming as well, which is a bit of a disappointment. Last Gasp was fine. It wasn't a bad movie, it wasn't a great movie. It was one that I kind of was invested in, enjoyed a little bit, and it finished, and I was done. I'd love to know your thoughts on Last Gasp. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.